For the last 12 weeks, we have embarked on what has truly been an incredible pet health series, a journey with Royal Canin, and learned so much about our dogs and our cats, and I think about ourselves as pet owners. So sadly, joining us for our final chapter of this incredible series is Royal Canin's resident veterinarian and now a very good friend of our show, Dr. Debbie Bain. I'm a little bit sad. I've loved this.
Actually.
Thank you so much. I've learned so much. I've met so many incredible vets along the way, and I certainly, I joke about the emotional investments, but I now understand this is what it requires to be a pet owner. You've really got to take that decision on with that responsibility in mind. So thank you for reinforcing that. I thought as an opportunity to kind of close off what we've been doing in our final chapter, maybe let's go back and touch on some of the things that have been the most important, what's resurfaced or surfaced through our discussion. And maybe we can start with vaccinations and shots, because those are vitally important. When and what?
As we've said before during the shows, our puppies and our kittens need a set of 3 vaccinations starting from 6 to 8 weeks. Our base canine vaccinations will include vaccination against parvovirus, distemper, hepatitis, and parainfluenza. For our cats, we have a base of 3 vaccinations. That includes calicivirus, panleukopenia, as well as herpes virus. Now, in addition to that, you can also, in your cats, get the leukemia virus vaccination. And again, that's something that you're going to need to speak to your vet about. After 3 months of age, that's when we can start introducing the rabies vaccination. Cannot stress the importance of having a rabies vaccination done and the annual vaccinations to keep up to date.
And it's a good opportunity to check in with your vet every year. That should be happening annually regardless, unless you notice something is wrong or something different in their behavior. Nutrition, obviously the core of our drive here, what motivates us in this space. What are the major do's and don'ts? What should we be avoiding? So
the most important things, I suppose, to do is to feed the correct diet according to their life stage as well as their size, especially with our dogs. Cats, like we say, slightly different. They're all around similar sizes, except, for example, our Maine Coons or our Norwegian Forests, which are the large breed cats, giant cats of the world. So that's the most important thing to do. There are definitely a couple of don'ts when it comes to feeding. Don't feed bones. They cause a huge amount of problems. Also very fatty meat, like off the braai, can be an issue. So rather just avoid table scraps altogether. Things like raisins and grapes, onions, garlic, chocolate. Those are actually all toxic to our dogs and our cats. And just on a side note for that as well, please don't, if your animal is limping, for example, please don't reach into your cupboard and look for some of your human medication. Certain human medication can actually be toxic to our animals as well.
Exercise for dogs, how often and how should we approach that? And do cats need exercise?
Oh, I think everyone needs exercise, right?
Exactly.
I mean, just to release those endorphins. Cats slightly different to dogs. I mean, you absolutely can lead train your cat and take them for a walk. It's happening more.
I've seen Zoe do it.
You know, it's actually quite incredible, and they really enjoy being outside. But just simple things like rolling balls and playing with their toys, that is exercise for them, absolutely. Your dogs, how often is a very difficult one to answer. If you are starting from a 0 baseline, please don't take your dog for a 5K run. Like, that would just be a little bit mean. So you want to build them up slowly and build up, obviously, their
capacity.
Their fitness. Yes, absolutely. Just like us, just like us. But exercise is exceptionally important. How many times a week? Do you know what? That also needs to fit in with your lifestyle and how often you can. And remember, for them, like even a 20-minute walk, that's getting out, that's interaction. Those are big things for them. One thing I do want to emphasize is with regards to puppies, they can play and run in the parks and stuff like that or at home as much as they want to. Granted, they've had their vaccinations, but high-impact activity and exercise should be avoided until they have stopped growing. Oh, wow. Because that can actually cause damage to their growth plates. And
stunt that growth. Really interesting stuff. Luckily, my sausage dog has 1 gear, and it's great on the uphills. What he loses on the downhill, he makes up on the uphill. Just lastly, to wrap this up, as a professional vet, someone who's worked in this space and obviously has a very good understanding of nutrition and overall pet health, what advice do you want to leave us with?
You know, our dogs and cats they truly are gifts. They are the one things in our lives that are going to love us unconditionally and they are not going to judge us, even at our lowest points. So I suppose we have a lot to learn from
You're not talking about cats, you're talking about dogs, obviously.
Well, some cats do, but
A little
mostly
judgy.
dogs, they are a little bit judgy sometimes. The more you know, the better you know your animal, the quicker you will realize when something is wrong. Sometimes to a fault, in the sense that you actually bring them into the vet too early before anything can be picked
Manifested,
up.
yeah.
But yeah, all I can say is it's a lifelong commitment, but enjoy them. Their lifespan is not as long as ours, and they are only loaned to us for a very short amount of time.
I know,
Enjoy.
This is one of the sick jokes of life, that we get one of the most enriching relationships is a short-term thing, but it makes us appreciate it so much more. I'm in awe of what you guys do. I have so much respect for your field now, seeing life through your lens as well. So thank you so much for opening that window. As a pet owner, I feel empowered to help my dogs and my cats live an amazing life. And I think we often forget it's both ways. What we get out of them, they get out of us as well. So I'm so glad you highlighted the emotional side of that connection. I'm going to miss you. We're going to have to do this all over again, maybe in a couple of months. Absolutely loved this series, certainly for myself, and hopefully you've gotten something out of it as well. Health is wealth. Make sure your pets are vaccinated. If you need to, make sure that you take your pet to the vet and make sure that they are fed the best diet. And most importantly, that yes, they get plenty of love and cuddles from you. You deserve it, they deserve it. And if you have any more questions about your dog or your cat, give this incredible team at Royal Canin a call. Go to their website, visit them, because there is a treasure trove of incredibly useful information there. And as always, if you have any cute photos of your pets to share, please do that. We'd love to see them and get to know them a little bit more. But I've got to say, as a pet owner, I have absolutely loved this journey. Thank you so, so much.
Thank you. It's been wonderful.